Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Hardcore Challenge Live. I'm the commish, Ben Klein, and this is our Week 4 Game of the Week edition. We will be unveiling our Game of the Week and breaking down the matchup. Then at the end, I will be giving my prediction who I think will win that game. Excuse me, little technical difficulties there. All right, so let's get rolling. Let's give out our call-in number in case anybody wants to call in. And let's get right into our Game of the Week. Game of the Week this week is going to take place in the Elite East. This week, as number 1 ranked Pale Horsemen faces division rival and defending league champ Bison Broncos. Pale Horsemen is sitting at 3-0 and is one of only 2 remaining undefeated teams. They are near the top of the league in scoring. We had their owner on last night for a little interview. They are one of the hottest teams in the league right now. And Bison Broncos is sitting at 2-1, just 1 game behind them. Although they had a little kind of a rough game last week as they only posted double digits. So obviously they're going to need to bounce back a little bit to recover from last week's showing. As they were a little low on the scoring, only posted a 96 last week. Actually only edged me by 2 points. So getting down there in my territory, that's not where you want to be. Not where you want to be at all. All right, so let's get right into it. When looking at these two historically, you would give Bison Broncos the advantage. However, Pale Horseman is looking very strong this year, and maybe there is some new blood pumping hard this season, and only time will tell. But first thing you have to look at, obviously, in this matchup is the quarterbacks. You've got Matt Ryan going for Pale Horseman. The Falcons have been one of the highest scoring teams through the first 3 weeks in the NFL. And Matt Ryan has the Panthers coming to Atlanta. I think he's going to light them up. I really do. I think the Panthers are going to struggle this year. And I think the Falcons are a little more for real. I mean, they were definitely more for real when they came to Oakland. And, the Raiders have proved the last couple of weeks that they are a pretty good team. And I think them beating us, I think the people are underestimating the Falcons. But now on the other side of the coin, you got Flacco, who is playing my Raiders. We're going to Baltimore. He's projected to get 23. I think he's probably going to have an okay game because our defense is a little suspect. So they had a great game last week, but the 2 weeks before, obviously, everybody knows they gave up 500 plus average a game there. So I just don't think Flacco's going to get 23. I'm going to give the advantage to Matty Ice for the Pale Horsemen at quarterback position. Now at the running back position, you got Mark Ingram and Isaiah Crowell for Pale Horsemen, going up against Jordan Howard for the Bears and Josh Ferguson from the Colts for Bison Broncos. NFL.com is projecting Jordan Howard at 22 points. I don't see anybody on the Bears getting 22 fantasy points this week when they play Detroit. I just don't. Sorry, Bears fans. I just don't see it happening. The Bears are struggling right now, and I see the struggling continuing this week. I see Detroit bouncing back from the loss at Green Bay. They came back hard in the second half, and I'm seeing that continuing into this week. Josh Ferguson from the Colts, I say he gets around the 4 projected points he's going to get, and that's about probably where he hits. Crowell and Ingram, I give that matchup at the running backs to Pale Horseman as well. Wide receivers, you got Pale Horseman with Crabtree from the Raiders and Travis Benjamin from the Chargers. And then you've got Brandon Marshall and Mike Evans. Brandon Marshall and Mike Evans, I predicted them to go big in the game of the week that they had a couple weeks ago, and they did. It ended up helping Bison Broncos to a victory that week. I think they're going to be big again, but I really think Crabtree and Benjamin maybe just a little bigger this week. Crabtree was fed the ball all day long last week, and I got a feeling he's definitely gonna get some major looks again this week when they go to Baltimore. So I think he's gonna do a little better than projected. He's only projected at 9 points. I don't see that happening. I don't see Benjamin hitting just 9 either. And I think Mike Evans, they're a little high on Mike Evans. So I see a lot of the Tampa Bay Bucks because I live here. I think they're a little high on Mike Evans and what he's going to do this week. So that's my 2 cents on that. So I'm giving the advantage as well at wide receivers to Pale Horseman. Martellus Bennett against Jesse James. Martellus Bennett for Pale Horseman, Jesse James for Bison Broncos. I got to go with Bennett, even though he's got the rookie again this week for the Patriots. I still think that's an advantage at the tight end position. Now at flex, I'm leaning more towards. You've got Jacob Tamme for Pale Horseman. Kenny Stills is who Bison Broncos is running with currently. Obviously, all of this is subject to change. Lineups aren't set. Things might change. They may. Flex position is obviously one people move around on. Tamme, I give this advantage to Bison Broncos. I think Stills is definitely the advantage at the flex position. Now going back to kickers, they've got you got Groskowski going for Pale Horseman against Santos for Kansas City for Bison Broncos. I'm giving that to Groskowski. The kickers, man. That's a coin flip. Basically, you're looking at it, but I'm going to see with Groskowski. I'm going to go with experience. There we go. We'll go with experience on that one. Now, for defense, team defense, you've got the Broncos coming to Tampa Bay. I think the Broncos are going to have a big game against Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay, I don't know, man. They're up and down, and offensive line's a little soft, and the defense is pretty stout for the Broncos. But the interesting thing is you've got Pale Horseman rolling with the Broncos defense at Tampa Bay, and then you also on the other side of the coin got Bison Broncos with Brandon Marshall, who had 9 tackles last week, going at Tampa Bay also. So there's a good possibility that with Doug Martin out and the guys that are going to be toting the rock for Tampa Bay, there's a good possibility Brandon Marshall could get some big plays. And, that would be a double score. So those kind of points would kind of neutralize themselves out. So that's kind of an interesting part of the matchup. As the defense as a whole, taking in the individual players and, the fact the Broncos D. And then you got, on the other side, you got the Jets with Seattle coming to town for the Bison Broncos. They've got the Jets D. Seattle come to town. The Jets, I'm just not high on the Jets either. You got 6-pick Patrick over there throwing 6 last week, and I just don't think the Jets are that good of a team. So I don't think the defense is going to do that great. I think Seattle put some points on them. So really the only advantage I see Bison Broncos having in this game, as I'm projecting it, is at the flex position currently. So I guess with that being said, looking at the matchups, owner history, track record, I guess it's obvious how I see it breaking down. I don't see the defending champ matching firepower this week, and I'm going out on a limb. I'm taking Pale Horseman in this one. I think they have built a contender. Took them a few seasons, but I think they may be one of the surprise teams this year. Willie, don't let me down. Don't let me down. All right. That is who I am picking for the game of the week. Week 4. Pale Horseman. One of the 2 last undefeated teams. Number 1 ranked in the power rankings. We'll see if they can do it. One little note. I did want to put it out there that it may be possible in the upcoming weeks that I may reach out to you to join the show for an interview. There may be different reasons through the course of the season. But, you may be the hot team. You may have the game of the week, yada, yada. I'd like to give everybody the forum. I think that allows our other owners to get to know the personality of the other owners that we have. I think think it helps build the league, build the unity in the league, and puts a little personality with the name that you see every week that you're playing. So I encourage you, if asked, please participate. It's not that big of a deal. I do all the work. I make it easy for you. I send you a nice text telling you exactly what to do. I call you. You don't have to really do anything. I set it all up for you. So if I ask you, please participate if you can. That's all I ask. So with that being said, we're going to wrap up another episode of Hardcore Challenge Live for this week. Let's remember, all trades need 48 hours approval time. No exceptions. You guys all know the deal. There's no surprises anymore. First one went through yesterday. It will be getting pushed through before the game time tomorrow. Probably about lunchtime. It'll be going through. Because I haven't got any objections. I don't know why anybody would. Just, for Christ's sakes, I got Tony Romo back. Who the hell wants Tony Romo? I only want that dude for 1 week. Week 9. Let's have Tony Romo roll his ass out there. Let him play for 1 week. That's all I want. That's all I need. All right. Week 4 is here. Are you ready for the challenge? Good luck. Game on.